So we're here to talk about the new SDPC add-on service partnership with the Learning Technology Center and the Education Cooperative, or TEC. So give you a little bit of a background on the Education Cooperative. It's a rather large organization that provides a multitude of services for schools across the country. And the Student Data Privacy Alliance in particular was created sort of out of a need to address state level issues in terms of student data privacy laws and requirements in the New England area. A lot of states reached out and said, hey, is there any way that you could provide some sort of a service model for us to help address the needs that we have in meeting those requirements and the compliance. So similar to us here in Illinois, we had the same problem when our law SOPA came out. So that created a new cooperative as part of their alliance, or as part of a new service offering as part of their cooperative to help address those needs. And since then, that creation of this, they have kind of expanded their services and their subscription models to be a little more cost effective and approachable for states not only in the New England area but across the country. So they work directly with the Student Data Privacy Consortium to offer this service within states across the country. So let's talk a little bit about what this means for us here in Illinois. So first of all, let's take a look at some of their offerings. And so they have NDPA processing, streamlined vendor negotiation. And if you look at this bit.ly here, you can click, or sorry, not click, but you can type that into your browser and see this slide deck. So please feel free to do that. So what does this NDPA processing mean, vendor negotiation, legal support, and access to a wider range of agreements actually mean? So let's go back to vendor negotiation and NDPA processing. So as you are going to the SDPC and looking for new agreements to add to your list, it doesn't change at all. So you still go to the Auto Exhibit Creator and you're still looking for agreements to sign on to, just like before. If you are an Illinois TEC district, all that really changes in this is that now, instead of just seeing these Illinois NDPAs, you now can also see TEC DPAs. So let's take a look at what these TEC DPAs look like. So looking at the TEC DPAs, what you'll see are multi-state DPAs, which includes Illinois. And all this means is that the Illinois Exhibit G will now be included in this particular DPA. So here's our Illinois Exhibit G. So what happens is the vendor has decided that it's okay for Illinois Exhibit G to be included in this multi-state contract. So they agree to our terms. And now here in Illinois, we're able to subscribe to this multi-state DPA. Currently, there are 102 Illinois TEC DPAs in this system. That list is growing daily. As of last week, I think they were just over 50. So within the last week, there's been a bunch more added, it seems like. So that list continues to grow, and it will continue to grow, hopefully, exponentially here in the near future. So that's what we have available now. But like I said, more and more are added every single day. If you are not a TEC district, so if you decide not to subscribe to the service, then you will not have access to these DPAs. The only thing that you'll be able to see is just our normal Illinois NDPAs. So the benefits of the TEC service start there, but they also continue. If you run into a situation where you're attempting to subscribe to a new DPA and you cannot find one in the Auto Exhibit Creator, here's kind of where the TEC subscription really earns its money, for sure. So essentially what happens next is, can't find a DPA, it's not on the Auto Exhibit Creator, so we need to initiate a new request and start getting a DPA in place. In past practice, school districts, we would advise you, school districts, to reach out to the vendor, send them a copy of the NDPA from Illinois, and start that conversation and work on getting that contract in place. As a TEC district, what you would do is submit a new request. So you go to add an agreement. Remember, you can't find it in the auto exhibit creator. So the next step is you figure out, add a new agreement, and then submit a new request. So no, we have no agreement. We need to submit a new request. When you submit the new request, you select the resource in the list, add any relevant information here. And then in the internal data, you would submit your name and your email. This will subscribe you to updates as the workflow is used to determine, what's the next step and who's responsible for that step. In the first step is LTC. So we would get the request as soon as you add us or select us in the workflow, and I'll show that as districts are onboarded. I take a look at it. If it's truly not currently in the system, then what I would do from there is submit that back to TEC, and then TEC takes over. So what happens next is TEC will contact the vendor. They will send them a copy of the DPA. They will work with the vendor to obtain that signed DPA as quickly as possible. Now, vendors, sometimes they can be extremely responsive and very quick, and sometimes they are not. So it could take days, weeks, months even to get a DPA in place. However, as long as you have submitted your name and requester's email, then every step of the way you can be updated in terms of the progress of where that is in negotiation. If it comes down to a point where the vendor is going to request there to be language changes, so that Exhibit H, where they are wanting to add language or change language in the NDPA as it's written, TEC takes care of all of that. So they have data privacy lawyers in their staff that will look at Illinois law, any other relevant state laws that they have DPAs for, and of course FERPA, COPPA, and other national data privacy laws, and make sure that whatever those terms are outlined by the vendor don't circumvent or subvert any of the laws that are appropriate for any of the states in their cooperative or any of the federal laws. So they will take care of all that for you. You never have to have any sort of conversation or email chain back and forth with the vendor. This is part of what that service subscription provides you as a TEC district. So that's their vendor negotiation and their legal support that they offer as part of it. Once they get all that information in place and everything is good to go and they vendor agrees to sign it, then they kick it back to you for review. Now, you in Illinois, if you prefer as a district, before you sign it, to have your own lawyers here in Illinois review it, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with having an extra layer of legal review. So please feel free to do so, especially if you feel more comfortable having a lawyer in Illinois review, a law specific to Illinois. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Once you agree and everything is looking good, then you can feel free to sign it and it will get uploaded and we're good to go. It's as simple as that. So to sort of recap what that looks like, Auto Exhibit E, just like before, no changes there. The only changes are, as a TEC district, you now get to see both Illinois NDPAs and any TEC DPAs that exist with the Illinois Exhibit G. If you do not subscribe to TEC, you can still only just see the TEC or the Illinois NDPAs. If you can't find something in the Auto Exhibit E creator, as a TEC district, you can submit a new request. You would include your requester's information and email, and once that request is added to your listing, you'll select the LTC as the first person in the workflow. that gets sent to me. I get an email notification. I take a look at it to make sure it's truly a brand new request for a new DPA to be added to our listing or to our database. And if it is, I send it over to TEC. TEC takes care of all the work from there. They talk to the vendor. They send them a copy of the DPA. They negotiate any potential Exhibit H language. They take care of all that work for you, so you as the district don't have to. And once they're completed with that, they kick it back over to Illinois for a review. And you are to the district that submitted the request for a review. And if you decide to send it to your own lawyers, if you feel more comfortable having an Illinois lawyer review an Illinois law, that's perfectly fine. As soon as you guys agree to that, then you sign it, and TEC gets it back and takes care of uploading it for you, and all is said and done. So what does that look like from a subscription model? So a couple things here. We've added a few different subscription. The deadline for signing up for this first enrollment period is December 6th. So if you decide to sign up now, please do so by Friday. We will have an onboarding group call on Thursday, December 19th at 2 p.m. and then another one at on Friday, December 20th at 9 a.m. So if you are signing up for the service, it is required for you to do an onboarding call before you actually use it. So reach out to me if necessary. To sign up for the service, there's a few different subscription types. I would recommend one of the first two. If you just want to try this out to see what it looks like, you can sign up from January 1st to June 30th for $275, so that's half of the year. But if you feel like this is going to be a great benefit to your district and just want to go ahead and sign up for a full year, what we're offering here is an 18-month subscription, so that you have the rest of the school year and then all of next school year, so it'll line up with that July 1 fiscal year. And the price for that will be $825 for 18 months of service. If you have any additional questions about the TEC Cooperative or the Education Cooperative service, please feel free to reach out to me, and I look forward to speaking with you. Thank you very much.